This is Trabr. We're creating the technology and the ecosystem for everything building. We're creating a market network which boasts a marketplace and a mobile-first, cloud-based suite of project control tools for builders, consumers, trades, suppliers, for everybody. All on the smartphone, all remote, all mobile, all for building. This is Trabr, and this is a building conversation. So g'day, we're here today with Dave Henson from Renxtend. G'day Dave, how are you?
Yeah, good, Tony. Yourself?
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks for making the time, I really appreciate it. So turning to home builder grants, when the federal government announced that scheme, which it feels like years ago, but it was only about 4 or 5 months ago now, it sounded like a really sound strategic move, and if not a clever thing at the time, and what it was intending to achieve on behalf of the building sector across the country, and let alone for consumers. Do you have a view on whether it's produced any lasting benefits, or whether it's going to, generate a legacy that benefits trades, subcontractors, builders, etc., or not?
I think, when it got first announced, I remember the day it got announced because I had 3 phone calls in the first couple of hours of being announced. Now, I hadn't received 3 phone calls in 3 weeks. So it got people thinking,
happy days,
got consumers thinking.
Yep.
The more you look into it, is it beneficial? It can be to a degree. New builds, no. As I said, I'm a custom home builder. I can't build a house.
Because 25 grand on a $750,000 house is it's almost inconsequential.
Look, I don't know how people are going with it. Personally, I have not had a job where it's been used yet. It got people talking, got people thinking, got people motivated. Has it done its job? To a degree, yeah, it has, without putting money out there. So, yeah, it's good. In Sydney, probably not as beneficial as other parts of the country.
The regions, maybe?
Yeah, New South Wales, regional areas, they'd benefit from it a lot better than what we would in Sydney. But the problem with that is obviously the high cost of, unfortunately, of building in Sydney. Yeah.
So you personally, Renxtend hasn't really seen a lot of benefit or income from it? Impact, rather?
No, as I said, just...
Other than prompting some phone calls,
just leads.
Yeah. Can I, without putting you on the spot, do those 3 calls convert?
One of them's in design phase at the moment.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Got to work on the other 2.
Yeah.
So in relation to the whole COVID-19 pandemic dilemma that we've all been living through, how conscious or aware, at least from your observations, do you think the building industry is now about COVID-19 and the protocols that should be operating?
Yeah. As a small builder, I don't think it affects us too much. We do the right thing, just be careful. The problem that we have as a small builder is going to different suppliers, especially if you work in the inner west and other places. You've got to be prepared and be wary of everything that's around you, people that are around you. They've all got their sanitisers and all that sort of stuff out, so that's all good. But as a small builder, no, you've got to be careful you don't have too many people on site at once. So scheduling is a little harder, but we're still inside the area that we're meant to be. We haven't got too many people on site, so it's not a big issue for us. If I was industrial or a commercial builder,
might be a little bit different, but
big difference, yeah.
And otherwise, just the simple, you can't have people climbing over each other in a build regardless of whether it's COVID-19 or not.
Yeah.
The waterproofer's got to wait until the walls are done.
Yep.
Or the whatever.
Yeah.
So it kind of helps you meet the protocols regardless.
Yeah, as I said, on one of our sites, it's not an issue. We're all inside the protocols anyway. Yeah.
So let me dig a little bit deeper in before you were talking about the legislative changes and the whole homeowner warranty and the media profile. That's been a little bit unfortunately the case with building generally over the last couple of years because of some very well-known mid to large scale buildings that have had some problems. Do you think that's impacted businesses like yours generally, or your business, or is it something that you got to deal with on a day-to-day basis with consumers? Is there an issue there under the surface?
There's no problem with consumers. The problem for us is obtaining the warranty insurances and the amount of paperwork we've got to go through. We've got to apply every year. Sometimes, I know builders that have lost their amount of revenue they can take in. As I said, we're regulated by what we can earn.
Yeah.
They've lost it like that overnight for not many two reasons that they've done anything wrong. So that's the impact that we're getting off those bigger builders is, how they run their business and how they shut down their businesses and don't, this homeowners warranty is just a gimmick to them.
Yeah.
So that impacts us.
Well, it doesn't apply to, what is it, over 3 stories?
It does apply to unit blocks. But that's where they're getting away with it. And, they can shut a company down and someone else has got to go in and fix it, and that's where it comes out of the warranties. Yeah. So it's costing us money, and that's the issue we've got at the moment.
And to what extent, though, is that passed on to the consumer?
Higher percentages that I've got to pay for insurance, which I pass that insurance cover onto the consumer to pay. Yeah. So it's costing me more. The percentages, 10 years ago, I don't know the figures 100%, but 10 years ago you might have paid 0.7% for a new house. Now we're paying 1.5% of a contract price.
And climbing.
So it's double. Yeah, and climbing. Yeah, definitely. It's not going down.
Yeah. So the net result is that all these changes, whilst beneficial structurally for the industry, it's the punter that's copping it in the neck ultimately.
Yeah. At the end of the day, what they're doing is trying to get building better. Structures.
You can't argue with that.
Yeah, no issue in the world. They've got to do it, but unfortunately, it's the smaller companies that are copying it because of the larger companies.
Conduct.
Correct.
Challenging. Listen, that was really interesting. I really appreciate your time. Thanks for answering the questions. It's been really, really valuable. Dave Henson from Renxtend, thanks again.
No worries. Thanks, Tony. Cheers.